Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is one of the games from the Star Wars Saturdays series, which is this ongoing anthology series I run for the Gauntlet community, where every month I choose a different RPG system. Sometimes they're from previous months, I won't lie, but I choose that system and then I hack it, reskin it, or play with it so that we can play a game set in Star Wars with it. As of yet, I have not run any of the three in the past officially licensed Star Wars RPGs in Star Wars Saturdays. I'm just ornery that way. And friends, I have to share with you that I am currently up to 66 different RPG systems that I have run or played in Star Wars Saturdays. 66. My goal is to hit 100 before I die. And once I hit 100, maybe I'll put Star Wars to bed for a bit. I doubt it, but maybe. Who knows? Although it took me 4 years to get to 66, so chances are there's still some fuel in this. Yeah, we'll move to Farscape. I have to say, my Farscape RPG playing has been mixed, friends, mixed. Yeah, please, I don't want to die like it's 100 either. So we are playing Swoop Gangs, which I adore because this is one of the first games that I really hacked for Star Wars Saturdays. And I love the core engine. It comes from One Percenters, a game from Creepy Doll Studios. And One Percenters is Sons of Anarchy or Mayan MC, the RPG. And I thought, hey, that could be cool in Star Wars as Swoop Gangers. So it's called Swoop Gangs. Uses that core engine where we have pools of dice associated with stats on the character. And the cool part that I love the most, it reminds me a little bit of Weston Games D6 Star Wars, just a little bit, is that we have this thing that's a resource for getting more dice that is also kind of your hit points, which that dual function reminds me of the way that character points worked in Star Wars D6, where you could use it to get better at a thing, or you could burn those character points right now for dice. And I love seeing the two different approaches for folks as they contemplated, do I want to be good now or do I want things to be easier later? I always thought that was a neat thing. Other people hate dual purpose XP, but I found it neat. That said, we are playing a game that the like storyline. This is the George Washington's axe that chopped the cherry tree at this point. Back in March of this year, I ran a GCOG game of Swoop Gangs, and I've been tweaking, playing with it, and I came up with the idea of a business, right? A front, a reason that the gang makes money other than their illicit things. And one of the options was a HoloNET show inspired by the Orange County Choppers TV show. I thought that could be pretty interesting. And we were playing on, as you may recognize behind me if you know Star Wars that well, and it's okay if you don't. I had to Google to find a cool picture of Corellia. We're playing on Corellia. Now, Corellia is one of the core rim worlds, or core worlds. It's heavily industrialized, and in the annals of Star Wars, that's where Han Solo is from. It's also a place that, according to legends, Star Wars was not freed from the tyranny of the Empire when Palpatine died. And that's what we're playing is post Palpatine, post New Hope, post Return of the Jedi, like a year and a half, 2 years post Return of the Jedi. And because of the Imperial shipyards and the heavy presence of stormtroopers and the Empire, they did not declare freedom like a lot of the core worlds did when Coruscant rebelled and all that good stuff. So Corellia is still under Imperial control, even though the New Republic exists in the galaxy. That's created a very interesting situation where we can shoot at cool stormtroopers, but also know that things happened in the movies and play towards those. I like that a lot. we're continuing with the HoloNet show, even though none of the HoloNet stars of that show are present for this game. Keith was unable to join us. Kai's had to drop out of the series, but that's a-okay. We still have a rocking, important, big wig star from HoloNet flicks such as shoot, dang it, I had it. Double Payback. Is that right? Please tell me I said Double Payback 2. I love that movie. It's the best. Double Payback. And also a cameo in Fear of the Obsidian Clone 2. Which, you know, that's a lot of star power. Turns out that she's drug her brother along, and we have a new character joining us, or at least a new Swoop bike ganger. This is from way back. One of the, like, 2020, right? April 2020, isn't that when we grabbed that? So Steven, tell us a little bit about your character, Rook.
So Rook is a returning character, has a sleek Swoop bike. A little bit, I think she cares more about the looks of it, wants to maintain it. She has nice paneling on the outside, just to make sure it kind of impresses those that she runs into. So Rook is about trying to get product, steal things, smuggle things for the crew, and as part of that, she's been put in charge of, like, the road captain. So she's in charge of, like, away missions once we get things going.
Nice. And that's a piece of information I want to share primarily with Steven, because Steven's joining us for the first time. The president, the president and VP of the gang are both currently at Coruscant, have been for an extended period. They occasionally will reach out to you guys and ask you to do things or give you updates. It seems that they are working on some really important deals that will help the gang in the future. In a way, there's a part of my brain that thinks about Fingers, who is the Ratataki president of the Swoop bike gang, the Broken Circle, which is your Swoop bike gang. As if you've ever seen The Wire, there's a point where Idris Elba's character is trying to transition from just being a gang leader to being a businessman, and it's fascinating because he takes a bath because he gets screwed over by a politician who's just a little slicker than he is. It's really fascinating to me. So I kind of imagine Fingers in that world of dealing with the Coruscant politics and trying to get a leg up and maybe not doing terribly well. That said, that means that Rook as road captain is probably the person who's de facto president of the club for most things. I mean, because you're the one who runs things when you go out on runs or runs them. Right. You're in charge when you're out on a run, out on a job. Yeah, exactly. It's like step in, you're immediately in charge. It's amazing. But the Sergeant of Arms is also very important as well. Chaplain, quite important in the right context. So each of you are vital members of the gang. And what I'd like to do is at some point this session, I'd like for each of you to tell us about another member of the Broken Circle. Maybe they're off camera, but we know that there is a bigger gang than the three principals. You're just the principals. You're the PCs. You're the ones that matter. But just so we have a little bit of red shirt fleshing out there, I'd love it if folks could think of an NPC who is a member of the Broken Circle gang, fills in, and could be important if we decide that's fun.
So, Rich, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Right now, I see on the NPCs list, what have we established about Fram?
So Fram is a droid that follows you guys around unless you say otherwise. and record you, because this is supposed to be, a HoloNet reality show.
Mhm.
It's not super talkative. It's pretty much the only words that it says are cut and print, which means I've just posted what thing you did.
Okay, great.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
You technically have a director of the Swoop Bike show, which is a pit droid named Maj. Do we say Maj? Is that what we want to say? Majo 3 or Major? I don't know. Yeah, up to you. And then the treasurer and secretary are PCs. Tyler hopefully will be able to join us next week. And then we have someone from the March game. Yay! In last session, you were approached by a proxy or a white worm, which is the scrum rats, the kids that work for Lady Proxima. Lady Proxima is a character from the Solo Star Wars story movie. She is a Grindelid, big worm lady, and she runs a gang. And the gang, they're the white worms. They're mostly kids that steal stuff. She's very Dickensian to me. And so Psyker, this little scrum rat, came to you with a job from Lady Proxima. Evidently, the Imperials, as Lady Proxima explained, the Imperials have eyes on her because they had arrested one of her lieutenants, a head boy known as Rebolt, and he was being transported to the spaceport so that he could be shipped off to a spice mine, probably in Kessel. And Lady Proxima offered you guys a lot of credits. She offered a lot of credits, and if you recall, Armitage named an exorbitant sum, and she agreed to it without arguing at all. You later found from Psyker, after befriending him, that Lady Proxima expressly said, I want Rebolt back alive, expecting that the wild and woolly Swoop gang that you are, that you would kill Rebolt while trying to save him from Imperial forces. Turns out, with the extra motivation of actually getting paid, this crew was successful in attacking Stephen, do you remember in Rogue One, the giant kind of robo tank thing that primary protagonist, whose name I can't remember?
Jyn Erso.
Thank you, God, I'm terrible. The Jyn Erso was being transported in a very early part of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, there was one of those that was moving through Corellia towards the spaceport. They swooped in, attacked it, and then freed Rebolt, as well as doing a little bit of charity work by freeing all the other prisoners, and then ran off.
Cleverly disguised.
Oh, yes, that's very important. Cleverly disguised as Kubas. Now, that's an important thing that I wanted to point out as well to you, Stephen. If you take a look on our NPCs tab, we have a line, backgrounded in a dark red, for the Black Heth. That is your rival gang. The Black Heth are primarily Kubas. Kubas are the long-snouted dudes that in Mandalorian, one had the little whistle flute that he used to call speeders on that frozen planet in the very first episode.
Yeah.
So that's a Kubas. I did a little bit of research because I like it. On Wikipedia, found out that the Kubas are kind of hive-ish, and they have a queen. And so I came with the Black Heth, which I thought was neat. So the Black Heth are led by a queen named Queen Sebok, and she doesn't go out on raids. She's like the president, who's President Kingpin, like, yeah. And because the Black Heth had taken over your old bar that you loved, the Black Hole, you guys have not liked each other for a while, and you cleverly disguised yourselves as Kubas by putting on, I don't know, like flimsy masks that look Kubasian. And during the fight, with the Imperials. There was a lot of non-Kubas speak that happened, some screaming in Huttese. Yes, it was a little bit of shoddy work. Personally, I think we all agree that it maybe will hold up under the lightest bit of scrutiny, but chances are when the Black Heth do a bit of research, they may be able to, I don't know, ID you by your very noticeable swoop bikes. Who knows? But you were successful, and you ended up going to the Sensory Assault Club with Rebolt, dancing the night away, getting him a little drunk, showing him a taste of actual freedom from Lady Proxima before you delivered him to Lady Proxima, and he went back to work. He fully expected he would be going back and had not expressed a desire to leave her service for fear of assassins being sent after him. That's the life of being a white worm. Even the head boy is possibly going to get killed if he's a threat to Lady Proxima. So that is anything I missed. Oh, Greg, why don't you tell us a little bit about the person?
Oh, yes.
Tell us about your character and tell us a little bit about the person you met at Sensory Assault.
We've also been commissioned to soup up as a birthday present a speeder for the I'm gonna lose the relation here, granddaughter of Decat Dupas, who is the current ruler of Corellia. It's his granddaughter, and Raido and her name, Zinbo, previously had an encounter where it was a little romantic, and then she left him to take the fall in a warehouse full of spice, surrounded by Imperials. Obviously, her grandfather got her out without any problems. And then, as we established right at the cut of the last episode, Raido was supposed to have been receiving letters from Zimbo, but had escaped Imperial prison, and so was not receiving them. So, yeah.
Which, of course, this was a huge surprise to Raido, who thought Zimbo wouldn't even remember him, much less didn't care. Cool. And let's see, Sabine, give us a quick. I of course did intro, but is there anything else about Armitage you'd like to share with Stephen?
I mean, Armitage is what to say. Oh yeah, maybe you should know that Armitage has lost both of her. She was a stormtrooper, then she fought a Jedi, lost both of her arms, and now she has 2 cyber arms, which can also extend a little. So that may not be something that I know that is something you are aware of, because she's not shy about that and kind of throws her arms around all the time just to get a bottle of juice if she feels like it. Well, or she fiddles around with them because they need not a lot of maintenance. So,
well, let me ask a question, because I've always been curious with this. I'm sorry, Stephen. I think I just cut you off, but just do you imagine the Armitage's arms just like stretch out, come back, or do they like loopity loop? Could they like go around a thing?
No, I don't think. I think they just go out and come back. That's a mechanical thing where they kind of go out and come back. It's not
awesome.
They don't loop around. I don't feel they loop around. Didn't think about that, but doesn't feel right.
Okay. See, what were you going to say?
Did I see that right? That Raido and Armitage are brother and sister? Ooh.
Yep, we are brother and sister. We both joined the stormtroopers, but someone got washed out for reasons, and someone turned into a veteran for reasons, and we're both not with them anymore.
Oh, cool! We now have a pic of Raido's ride. I love it. Right? Is that what I see?
Yeah, I threw that one in there. It like has a little enclosure thing that closes on you.
Nice. Okay. I stuck the Action Movie World character keeper in underneath Armitage. I don't know why, but we could always reference it later. Cool. I'd like to pick up as we did in the first session with with the session as if we're beginning the TV show. I have quite enjoyed the creativity that folks have had in our intros of the Broken Circle Custom Swoop Bike Shop show. So who's got the Fram is following you guys around, or what is our opening shot? Does somebody want to step in and talk about how their character is brought into the beginning of our episode?
I do have an idea for a scene, mostly because I want to shoehorn some charity work into this.
Nice, very clever.
Okay, so the Fram kind of swoops around into the door frame, and Rido is at like the whatever the equivalent is in Star Wars of the forge, right? And he's like pulling some handles, and the thing's all hot, and there's a bike in pieces behind him. And he's like being very careful, and he pulls out these big prongs, like he's going to pull out like a custom seat, but he pulls out this like cake form, and it's a big Wikipedia Corellian air cake. And he's like trying to hold it very carefully so it doesn't collapse in the middle. And then he like brings it over to a table, and it opens up, and it like probably off gases dramatically because it's Star Wars. And he like rings a bell, and some of the white worm kids who have been like patiently picking through the trash in the exterior shot, like look up. Oh, it's like a Thursday thing or something, and he's cutting out little pieces of cake for the kids.
Oh, that's so cute. You're befriending the white worms. Fantastic. Do you want to pull anyone else in, perhaps Armitage, for this charity work that you're doing?
Do you want to be there?
Yeah, definitely. I want to help these kids as well. I mean, Armitage was like interacting with that kid before, so yeah, sure, she will. She doesn't cook that well, but I think what she's done maybe is, Corellia is, she has created from our scraps a few air filter masks, right? Just so you can put them on and have a bit of good air for yourself. It's not uncommon for rich people to have that, but most people don't and just cough their way through life. And she made those because the kids are probably not in the quarters where you get best air quality. So
cool. All right. Let's go ahead and get some dice on the board. Rido, if you could. You are doing charity work, so you can roll cool plus heart. You're not very cool, but your heart is 3 times bigger than your cool. So you roll 4 dice. Oh, you're talking on mute, Greg.
I was saying I can't justify any of my expertise, not stealing from the kids. So, all right, here we go.
We should probably come up with like non-gang expertises. It could be.
My apologies. I rolled before I had a difficulty established.
Oh, no, it's okay. Let me ask you guys a question. This is something that's been burning around in my back of my mind for a little bit. The way that the charity work and Duracrete Justice works is you roll against the difficulty the way it currently works. The GM sets the difficulty, you roll your dice, and if you succeed, you roll a d6, and that's how many cards you get back. Mm-hmm. That feels like maybe one step too many. Should there either be a static number of cards to get back, or the number of successes that you roll? There's no difficulty set, just the number of successes you roll is how many cards you get back. What do you think about those options?
I like the idea. The original roll, it gives you the opportunity to try and do charity work, and it goes terribly wrong. So I do kind of prefer that.
So you like it as written?
Yeah.
So tell me about, so for charity and Duracrete Justice, you roll. What about bonding?
Bonding, there's no role for it. You just it
Oh.
at current build is GM fiat as how many you get back.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I tweaked it to where there are 5 carks awarded between the Swoop bikers who share a scene together.
I see.
That's right.
Okay.
So it's 5, and you get to determine how it's divided.
I was just going to suggest that with those 3, those 3 ways of getting carps back, that it would be nice if they shared the same mechanic, so that they were all 3 kind of similar. But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense with the bonding portion, so I'm not sure how to change that. Yeah.
Yeah, I the bonding scenes was something I added to charity work and Duracrete Justice were lifted straight from 1%ers. And as I've played around with the game while we've been running it lately, I've taken a second look. Let's go ahead and say there's no. Let's just go with the rules as written when you went into it. I think the difficulty for this is Rich goes to look at the difficulties. It's pretty simple. These kids already like you. You're giving them cake. You're doing it pretty genuinely. So while the player may have a scheme, it seems like that's a cool Rido thing. Cool. So that is 2 successes that you've rolled. You can roll a d6 for how many cards you get back.
A whopping 6. Dang.
Wow. Armitage, let's see how your masks, you're handing out like filter masks.
Yeah, probably not that great because I'm not that good at heart or I'm not that cool also. But there's a 6, there's 1 6, I don't know.
Yeah, 1 success, and it's simple for you too. They're
Okay,
like
cool.
masks. Yeah, cool. Trying on different masks, paint, using some of the paint from what you guys painting up the sides of their masks.
No. Eat your cake or put on your mask. Don't put on your mask.
There's one white worm who's like trying to paint something on his cake. Can you eat this paint?
No, you can't eat this paint. You get a terrible tummy ache if you eat this paint.
Oh man, you guys need flavored paint. All right, roll that d6. Let's see how much how many cards you get back.
See, 3. Okay.
Nice.
That's cool. That's better.
How do we bring Rook into this episode?
So I think what we see in the background of all of this going on is that Rook is, as Armitage is like, building up these masks. Rook is working on her swoop bike. And you see where she's taken, it looks very sleek, and it has these nice, almost chrome panels. They're not really chrome, but they're like stainless steel. They shine, and she's kind of polishing them up. And she takes some of them, she takes one of the panels off, and inside there's like a hollow. And she puts, I think Fram kind of zooms around, and we see like this grainy image zoom in, and she basically, puts a couple of things inside that look dangerous and sharp and maybe blinky, and then puts it back on, and it's like, almost like elicit what was put in there. Was that weapons or drugs or what's going on? Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe that's actually like a subtitle, thing coming across from Fram is, unknown, objects placed into smuggling compartment. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I guess I'm gonna put a note because that's the thing we should follow up with. Sweet. The Armitage Rido scene with white worms is delightful and heartwarming, and is scored with some upbeat, playful music in the background, and maybe like a fuse. Because in Solo Star Wars Story they used Imperial March during one of the scenes as if it were part of a recruitment video. Maybe we have some Ewoks music playing here with the white worms, kids all eating air cake and putting on various masks while Rook sneaks some stuff into her speeder bike. I'd like to get an update on what you're doing for the big custom job for Zimbo U Tom Ree's Swoop bike. Ooh, I see that there's a new gang member, I think, has appeared. That is a badass picture. Do you imagine that's a sword behind them or just something in the background?
The sword, probably. He's if you look closely, you can see that he has a lot of cyber parts. So he has a sword, and he likes using that sword to, I don't know,
Very cool.
put it to decapitate people that come charging at him. Because sword, right? I don't think Armitage is much in love with the sword. She has a thing about swords. So swords are
swords,
bad.
lightsabers, like bad things.
Yeah, no, she's not in love with the sword. I think
Very
that's
cool.
that's his name, or at least his Creed name is Blade.
Ooh, that's a killer name. I love it.
Right? Yeah, he's very cool.
But yeah, I'd love to see like a little discussion or some kind of scene, and maybe, hey, how about I just like drop this in to the live scene? So we cut to a scene with the three of you and maybe a couple of our as yet undefined other Swoop Bike gang members of Broken Circle, and Maj03, your director. Okay, what I need from the three of you is a little discussion around Zinbo's bike. Like, what are you going to do with it? And maybe, I don't know, if you argue between each other a couple of different ideas, we could show each other's personality, set conflict up for this episode.
Yeah.
And go!
Frame
starts hovering around and trying to get different angles as Maj03 scoots back out of the shot.
Yeah, have we an idea about the decals we want to put in this, or is it decals? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Armitage does. It's just me who doesn't.
You want to put some cool decals? Oh man.
Yeah, but something, I mean, it has to be kind of Empire related, right? Because this bike's not going to be about impressing her. It's going to be about impressing her granddaddy. So we need to put some Empire stuff on there.
Well, I think we need to impress her. She's the one who has to ride around on it.
Yeah, but you're the one who wants to impress her.
Yeah, so I think what we need to do then is we'll take these decals, and I think they're like neon decals. They actually light up and they rotate through like pinks and reds and blues, and they're going to spell out in Arabic the last name, Thomri, which will satisfy both of them because she's showing off and he's showing his, this is his position. Everyone will know that this is his granddaughter.
I think it's too girly. But do you?
Yeah, I mean, girly's fine. We're talking about Zimbo. I mean, we can even set it up so that, we could set it up for her so that it changes, we could set it up so that there are different colors associated with it and she can black it out. And, give her custom controls to change what the color of the Swoop bike outside is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, sure. That
sounds expensive.
We have a shit ton of money and we can put all of that into decorations instead of, I don't know, giving her a machine that actually drives well, but it will be very her, I guess.
And Rook turns to Rido and says, does she ride? Can she ride? She good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Swoop
Then we
bike,
can't.
right?
Yeah, then we can't skip on the bike because she'll know the difference.
Can we put a personal shield on it? Just so-
No.
Can't afford that. I mean,
Well, we
could
can afford the skin that changes colors.
Yeah, I mean, we can afford the skin that changes colors and not much else, or we could actually build up the machine to do a good job, right? Like give it extra throttle, extra, and that little extra will like put in some, you like rhydonium, don't you? Some extra rhydonium.
No rhydonium.
Why not? I mean, it's okay. Maybe she can drive that well. We can go with the funny decals. Sure.
I think Ducat would appreciate the personal shield.
Good point, but then we can. I mean,
Oh, all right.
and I'll gesture to Flimpton. Hey, put this on pause. And when he puts it on pause and say, "Hey, we don't want to give any Imperial personal shields." Go on.
I think the way
Recording.
that we put them on pause is we reach over to Major and tap his nose, and he collapses, right?
Oh,
Frame
nice.
collapses. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, well, I think that Major or Majo 3 collapses because he's a pit droid, and Frame kind of powers down, and we see it kind of hover.
Oh, okay. So
but
okay.
no lights.
Cool.
Yeah. And then when we're done, we tap the pit droid's nose again, and it pops back up, and the camera's back on.
Yeah, cool. I like that. I can't tap his nose from over the other side of the room, so that's fine.
Yeah, you can move over and do that. That's no problem. I'm not going to create a conflict over that. I think it makes perfect sense that that's a thing you do, and you should definitely say that, because giving Imperials shields is never wise.
No, not even if you're hot for her. And I will agree that she is hot, but still.
Another thing to be mindful of is you're pretty sure that he's only going to pay so much. So you start eating into your own profits. How much do you want to swallow profits to impress him?
No, I don't want to do that.
But definitely worth an argument over it.
Yeah.
Cool. So we bring Madge back up. Major back up. He's excited. There was a good amount of conflict there. And Frim says, cut and print. And there we go. What else do we see from Rook? Because this is kind of our episode of getting to know Rook. She's got this smuggling compartment that we hinted towards. What else do we see in the remainder of our episode before we move on a bit?
Yeah, so I think she's actually back doing some of the actual work on the bike for Zimbo. Like taking pieces and putting it together and tightening things down and trying to get things just in place. And I think she's got like a streak of grease across her face, and her hands are all dirty, and she's trying to get in there and get things. So she's actually working on the bike innards herself.
Nice. Is she good at chatting to the camera / audience, or is she very quiet and we have music in the background? Like, this is the music of her working.
So I think she's annoyed with the camera always shooting her. She was very against this whenever Fingers said, we're going to bring in the show and all that kind of stuff. And she was like, then they'll know what I look like. This is a problem. It means I can't do my job to bring things in that nobody's supposed to know about. And you got cameras, it's going to undermine me left and right. So whenever the camera pans on her, she's A, not good in front of the camera, and B, just pissed that this thing is still here. So yeah.
Nice. What do we know what resulted when you objected? Was it a thing where Fingers just said, well, deal with it, or did he do some kind of enticement to get you to agree?
Yeah. So you had mentioned trying to bring in an NPC, so I'm going to bring in a series of NPCs
Ooh,
that
nice.
basically, I think that the enticement was bringing in Fram and another series of roving eye observation droids that basically they'll help us see what we need to do. So I think that as Fram pans around the workshop as I'm working on the Swoop bike, I think we see this row of these little observation droids that are in various states of being constructed. And basically the excuse that Fingers said is, if you get Fram and these other observation droids in place, then we'll be able to watch everything on the street, see everything that's going on, and we'll have a feed everywhere.
Nice.
And Rook was like, okay, but it better pay off because getting our faces out there is closing one door, and this better open another.
Cool. So that is our enticement, is that you guys are using this as a front to keep eyes on the outside. I like that. And so, Rook, that's how you get a heads up that there are some Koopas who are sniffing around outside. In fact, you see a couple of them head into the store of Dodo Onion. He runs a weapon shop across the street from you guys. He's a Rhodian. And yeah, you see a few Koopas head that way from your surveillance.
And I think, I see that, kind of on a terminal pop up, and we see that grainy black and white image and everything. And I kind of stand up and, wipe my forehead, and there's like a smear of grease and everything. And I kind of walk over where this roving eye observation droid is kind of sitting there watching the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And I see, I see the last of them kind of slip into Dodo Onion's shop. And I turn to the other two and I say, we've got visitors. They're looking for guns. What are we going to do about it? How many do you think there were? Do you think there were 3?
You saw 3.
3? I'm like, do we take the Kubas and teach them a lesson?
I got a gun for them right here, so sure. And I have my own gun, pretty big gun.
I'm dying at the Athorian picture. Dying.
So
Rhino's gonna go over to where the kids were and clear them out. Like, hey, all right, time to move on.
I think Rook is like, we could use them. They could help.
Yeah,
and I think it's too late. They're already gone, right?
No,
right.
we're not using the kids to do an adult's job. Look, I'm going to talk to those Kobas. You just have my back, right?
And I think Rook is like, absolutely, I have your back. But here's the plan. I think we need to take this quietly, and slip in on them.
Armitage is already walking out.
The hammer. Yeah.
She's already walking out. She has a big gun and subtlety ain't my style.
You're the kind of the one.
Yep.
And I think Rook looks around to see what Rido's doing.
So after Rido moves the children away, he's closing up shop behind you, which is also means that he's arming himself and getting himself in position. There's a gun port in one of the windows upstairs, right? He can be the second person.
Cool. Good. So Armitage is heading outstairs. Rido's heading upstairs. Armitage is heading outside to confront the Koopas. Rido's heading upstairs to give her backup. Rook, when you see that they're just doing their own thing, what do you do?
I head back into the garage and I grab my swoop bike.
Okay, cool. It's a little early, but I'd like to take a quick break. Armitage, you're heading over, as far as you know, by yourself. What's your relationship with Dodo Onion? Hold on a second. Let's pause.
Look,
We may have a
Throttle.
sudden arrival of a throttle. Hold
Wow.
on. Let's just pause the recording. Hey, we're back, and Keith's here. Thank you for joining us, Keith. So let's drop you into this scene. But first, let's know who you're playing. So, Keith, if you could just remind us of Throttle, and of course, it's first time Steven's playing with you and with Throttle. So, give us a bit of an intro.
So I am playing Throttle, she, her. She is the secretary of our gang, and she takes her duties very seriously, even if she is not quite proficient in all of them. Her system works for her. Throttle is a double entendre because she loves speed and she loves violence. So both meanings of the word throttle work for her. She is very badass, very good with her hands, and hopes that gets her through everything that she needs to. She is fluent in Huddies for some reason, that if you ask her why, you might get a different answer every time. And thanks to the success of the Broken Circle gang, she had her own show that is a bit like cross between Pimp My Ride and Jackass. So I'm thinking that's where she was, wherever you guys were doing your stuff. She was off busy filming her show and hoping that you guys didn't get in too much trouble while she was gone.
Nice. So, Throttle, you finished up your shoot, and you're zipping back to the Broken Circle garage, right? The shop, the custom swoop bike shop. And as you come in towards the front, you see that Armitage is walking from the front of the shop across the street. Now, if you remember, and even if you don't, I'll tell you, Dodo Onion is a Rhodian who runs it's an illicit weapons shop, as far as you guys know, but officially there's a cover. It's he's officially selling something else, but you guys know it is an illicit weapons shop. And for some reason, Armitage is marching across. Thank you very much for lacking the Star Wars name. She's marching across the street all by herself, as far as you can tell.
She has her large gun over her shoulder.
She looks like
semi-casually, I'm just here. I just happen to have this huge gun at my side. I'll make something of it. Probably not.
So Armitage is walking over to Dodo's place.
Mhm.
yes.
Yep.
Purposefully with a giant firearm.
Yep.
I'm looking around to see if Frim is following her or not.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
sure.
Come on.
And she's by herself.
She appears to be by herself at the moment that you're pulling up. Yes.
All right. A quick glance into the garage, see if Rook or Rido is there.
Awesome. So if you look into the garage, you see Rook. If I remember, Rook, you were going to grab your stuff from near your bike.
So I just hopped on my bike.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
going to
you're
head
on the
out,
bike.
and I
Nice.
think I'm going to get. I'm going to get on the horn and tell Rido, "Hey, Rido, it's you're headed towards a sniper position, right?
Yep.
We'll see if we can't pull out the Kubaz out on the street and not keep them in Dodo Ion's shop, so that And I'm going to then take off on my bike and say I'll be, so that Armitage can hear. I'm going to be backup for you outside. If you flush them outside, I'll take care of them. Is that clear, Throttle?
It sounds like Black Heth to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just so
Yes.
Rook doesn't know you're around, and you're probably on comms, right?
Yeah.
So you know you're there, but we probably don't know you're there yet. So you can swoop in to save the day.
I feel like I turned on the comms halfway through that. And... Kark.
Nice. Armitage, you get to the front door of the shop. You know, during opening hours, it's unlocked. You just stroll right in.
Yeah, I'll just walk right in.
Cool. So what is, and this is open to anybody who's got an idea, what's Dodo's cover? Like, what is he selling that isn't, that he would advertise or that would be on the front of the shop, or when you first walk in, you'd see it on the walls, like you could imagine physical items.
Fish.
Fish.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is going to be the best shot. Oh, this is going to be so good. So you walk in and it's like this odd ethereal bluish light because of all the water, all the tanks that are around with all kinds of different weird Star Wars fish that are in the tanks to your left and right and onto the sides. And there's like a central area with this like humongous tank that you can see all the way through. So you can see the 3 Zubas that are at the counter threatening Dodo Onion. But of course, we see these weird like rays and eels and the like. Sorry, I just saw Sabine's fish thing. That's funny. Did not know we could fish react people. Now I wanna fish at reaction fish. Oh, it's a different one. Puffer fish. There we go. All right. It's a baby Dianoga. Yes. There's a baby Dianoga in one of the tanks, and lots of other weird fish. So Armitage, when you first step in, you spot those Kubas. There are 3 of them. One of them has Dodo by the throat and is saying in the native Kuba's tongue something. Do we see subtitles, or does Armitage understand? You know Hut, but do you understand Kuba's?
I don't think I understand either, actually.
Okay.
I
So
understand
throttle.
Rhodian. I understand Rhodian, but I don't understand the other stuff. I was a stormtrooper. We didn't get taught other languages.
They should learn your language, right? Yeah, they
right.
should learn basic. That's why it's called basic. Everyone can speak it.
Or wait, I'm from Corellia, so I might know some Matisse phrases, but
doesn't hurt. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, this Kubaz is shaking Dodo, and Dodo screams out, no, it's all time locked. It's all time locked. I can't get to it. And one of the Kubas, it looks like they're gonna like walk around the counter, like they're trying to pilfer through some of the wares.
I say, hey, what's going on here? Guys, you know, you're on our territory here, right? You know, you got to pay your dues before you do anything.
One of the Koopas does this thing where he's got the poncho, like the Star Wars poncho on, and he like pushes the poncho aside. He's going to draw on you.
I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to shoot him if he's going to draw on me. I'm going to shoot him. I mean,
you're going to shoot up the shot from Chris hovering
first.
around. You hear it trill excitedly. He drew first. You're justified. Yes, that's not the law, but that's what we can say the law is. Sweet Armitage. You are going to draw. You're all by yourself. There are 3 of them. I think tension is involved in this role.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but you know, I wanted to threaten them.
I know.
Now I have to shoot them. Oh, okay. So I will be badass, I think, and I will use tools.
Yep.
I don't know if this is beating someone up. It's assault, though, right?
It seems like it's shooting somebody.
But there is no shooting somebody.
That's true.
Right? So
let's say, yes, it's 1 die. Go ahead. You're good.
If there was a shooting someone, I don't know if I would have taken them that, but well, anyway, so I'm getting a of dice.
You are looking at a difficulty of carking hard because there are 2 of them. You're in a tight space. This could be painful.
Okay. What is hard? I'm sorry, I'm
4.
not conversing. 4. Oh wow. Better spend a card then.
I am going to drop those difficulties in the
Thank you.
bottom of the character keeper. I'll just stick it right.
Let's see where that goes. Wow. Okay, I've got 3 successes. That doesn't hit it, and I've got a 1.
Oh my.
This does not go too well.
Sweet. So cool. Can you guys still hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, I switched. So we hear as you fire on the first Kubaz, hit him, but it was some kind of armored plate underneath his poncho. He draws, shoots, hits you, but I think, he hits you for that one kark. I'm imagining it's one of those glancing wounds. Maybe it hits you in the hip or the side. And then the other Kubaz has this like little repeating blaster, but it's one of those things that, he had a kit where he like put it together. And so he starts and he does this like wide arc and fires at you. You're able to duck out of the way as the thing hits the glass behind you of one of the tanks, and the water just spills out, gushes over top of you. You get water, and then there are fish all along the ground. And that's Rook and Throttle. You both were on swoop bikes, right? You hear
no.
Oh,
Rido was upstairs.
Rook and Throttle were on swoop.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
Cool. So the two of you are on swoop bikes. You hear this, Rido. You hear this as well, but you don't see Armitage because she went in the shop. So Rido, because you're lookout, I'll give you first reaction. What are you going to do? So Greg, what do you want to do?
Yep. Sorry.
It's okay. I just want to make sure. Like I was using character name. I thought, oh crap.
So all I hear essentially is a bunch of blaster fire in the shop across the street. I mean, are there swoop bikes, parked outside?
No, they walked in. Their swoop bikes aren't parked right outside. They walked in. They must have parked and walked a bit.
Okay.
They were trying to get the drop on you guys and failed because, well, yeah, I know they're not a very good swoop back game. What are they doing?
No. Are they? Is anyone making an exit for the doors? Because that's what I would be covering, right? I'd be waiting for one of them to run out the back door, or
no one is
maybe
is currently trying to exit.
Okay. In that case,
although I think I will say, at that point you would see Throttle running in, if that's additional information for you.
Okay. Yeah, I think Rido is just gonna hold the Overwatch position here.
Okay.
Totally just waiting. If somebody makes an exit. And I think also is probably like pushing Madge down. Like he's constantly popping up and being like, what's going on? Not right now, Madge.
Yes.
Can we shoot this? Not right now, Madge.
But it seems very exciting. This is ratings.
This is the other side of the business, Madge.
Cool. So then Throttle and Rook, their bikes aren't outside. As you wheel out to the street, a fight is breaking out inside. Rook, you were here and knew more of what's going on. So we'll ask you first. What are you doing?
So I slip around on my swoop bike into the front of the shop. I point towards my swoop bike towards our shop. They're across from us. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to fire my harpoon gun in and see if I can't snag one of the Kubas and then take off.
That's amazing. I will say that because they're not currently firing at you, tension isn't involved in the roll, but what you're doing is pretty complex. So I'm going to say it's carking hard.
So it's a 4.
Yeah.
So that's probably be badass and tools.
Yes, that makes the most sense to me.
And do I add anything else in?
It is be badass and tools. If you have any expertise,
I don't
smuggling,
think
theft, or
so.
mechanics, yeah, I don't think those really fit either. And then you can apply any carks you want to spend 1 for dice.
So I'll spend 2 carks and roll 6 dice then. Let's see what that looks like. 1, 2. Is a 4 a success? Then I only got 3.
You need
Yeah.
a 4
didn't
is
get
a
it.
success, yes.
So I only got 3 successes.
Oh, and you needed 4.
Yep.
So I think what happens is you fire the harpoon inside. It goes through one of the front windows, through the tank, right? Because they display the tanks in the windows, through a tank, slams into a Kubaz. But then when you drive off, it rips into him. He is definitely hurt, but it didn't pull him out. And now everything is wet in here. The Rhodian Dodo, who didn't like you guys originally, now really justified dislike as you're destroying everything. Oh, am I crossing the line? I just want to check.
No, there's a veil and harm to animals. So, but I imagine because it's Star Wars that like their tanks break, they all have appendages. It's just getting weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to. Yeah, it's a veil. So yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So thank you for the reminder, though. I really appreciate that. I just got all excited about.
Oh, we can address that by basically saying there's a bigger tank underneath where the storage is, and they just flop down like little.
Oh yeah.
Rip. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm into it. Maybe there's a little droid that's moving around and like scooping up a fish quickly, madly. Cool. Yeah. Good with the check-in. Everybody cool with where we're at and the tweaks we made? Good. All right.
I do
Awesome.
like this happens all the time anyways. Yes.
It's true. Why would you have class unless you want it broken? Sweet Throttle, you see Rook pull off this crazy harpoona dude maneuver. Doesn't quite go the way she planned. What are you doing, Throttle?
All right. So our current state is there's all 3 of the Black Heth in there. 2 of them
Yes.
are nicked a bit.
Yes.
Armitage, you're heading for the door, were you saying? Yeah, trying to get out of there. Okay. So I think I pop into the door. There's 2 shattered tanks, I think, at this point, maybe more.
At least 2. Yeah.
Oh gosh. I don't want to cause more fish damage. I'm just picturing there's the what did we go with? There is the baby what is it?
Dianoga?
Yeah, did we go with that is in there?
I think we have to. That is such a great idea.
Is it crossing a line if I use that as an attack? Because I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable with that.
You want to throw a Dianoga at someone?
Yes.
I'm okay with that, I guess.
I mean,
I
if
think
there's
what
a
we'll do
question,
is a success means that they're ensnaring and terrifying the Kubas. A fail means that it misses and it scuttles away. Does that seem cool? That way the animal isn't under threat.
or I could switch it up and put one of the Kubas in the tank if it's still in the tank.
Okay. I'm cool with that too.
Give him a dunk. Okay.
I like dunking at Kubas. That's actually pretty
Dunking and Kubas.
So what I'm hoping to do is to knock it off its feet because it's so wet and just toss it in. So
Oh, that totally makes sense. So are you coming in on your bike or did you end up?
No, I'm running.
Okay. Okay.
Although, no, I'm running. I don't need to be total bull in a china shop.
Okay, cool. That's I think what you are offering up is not as crazy as the other things that folks are doing. No offense to the other folks. I really love
I
what
feel
you're
like
doing.
I'm offended by that, actually.
I mean, I will say it's hard though. He does not want
Hard,
to
okay.
be. Hard to be 3. You need 3 successes.
I thought you said heart at first. I was like, really? Um,
I think you could argue that as against that one. That would be really kind of weird.
badass hands.
That feels perfect to me.
Is it assault?
Yeah, it's 100% assault.
All right, so we're at 7. It feels good. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it does feel good.
Wow. It happens exactly as you describe it. You grab that Kubas, you toss him up and over into like one of the huge tanks. Is that, or you think you dunk his head in a tank? What are you imagining?
I was going with tossing him in.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's
Yes, there's lots of arms flailing, and he's not dead, but I think that this is good enough for me to. All right, got my Wilhelm in. Sweet. Let's slide back to Armitage as you had some backup. Throttle appears out of nowhere, tosses a Kubas. There's that one Kubas who isn't involved like in your fight. He was hunting around. He comes up with a really big gun because that's what he was hunting for. But you had the other one who you'd shot in the shoulder plate, who shot you, the two of you in some kind of, gunfighter duel. What do you do, Armitage?
I think a big gun. I like big guns. You know what? I'm keeping mine in my left hand, and I'm shooting out the right one to just take the big gun from him. Because, come on, he's just a little Kubas. Maybe he's the big Kubas. I have no idea, but
he's big for a Kubas.
He's big for a Kubas. I'll just take his carking gun off him because.
Oh, that's awesome. That is definitely assault. And he does not want to give his gun up and will probably try to shoot you to fail. So I'm going to say tensions involves, but disarming him versus other options, I'll say that is hard. You need 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, I can do that.
Correct.
Maybe. Let's see if that works. Come on, dice. Yes, it's 3 successes, and no shows. So yay!
Look at that.
Yeah.
Actually, I see 4 successes. So yes,
Oh,
very
right.
successful.
My gun.
Is it
I
a
don't
like
know.
the arms extend out and you
Exactly.
snatch the gun away from him?
Exactly.
That's awesome. The other guy, as you're doing that, the guy who had the gun trained on you, he shoots like a stormtrooper. Like there's too much going on. He fires a couple shots at you and hits a tank behind you, but like just water comes out, just like shooting out. But all the fish are looking at the crack and talking to each other in fishese. But at this point, they're just swimming a little bit lower. They're good. Let's cut back to Rido. What do you want to do? Is you saw Rook hook a person, Throttle run in there. What are you doing, Rido?
I think Rido has realized that possibly no one is going to escape and is now concerned about the rest of the gang. Like what should have happened is they all went in, all the Kubas left. That hasn't happened yet. So Rido like psychs himself up a little bit, runs down the stairs, pushes Madge aside again. Take me with you. No. And is going to be running like beating feet to the back door to be like right there if somebody and like to burst in from behind.
Nice.
And I think if I'm literally beating feet, I think I have to roll plus feet.
I think so too.
Okay.
You're just trying to get there ahead of anybody escaping. So I'll say this is a normal difficulty. There's a lot going on over there and you're just running.
Okay. I mean, is tension involved? Because I'm basically running through fire.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Tension is involved.
Okay. That's 5. You said it was normal? I'll just roll with 5.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Hey.
Nothing
Okay.
could go wrong ever.
So that's basically, what's that, 5 successes? No,
4.
Greg can't count. 4.
It's okay. The 3 looks like a success, but it's an illusion.
It's an illusion. So yeah, I'll just like get to the door and then bust in from the opposite direction. Right now we've pinchered the Kubas inside.
Nice. So Kubas is, which I misspelled. I stuck another Kubas pick over on the same row as Dodo because I thought that was a cool pick of a Kubas. Sweet. So yes, you've pinned a Kubas in. We've got another Kubas who just lost his weapon. Rook, after you harpooned and hurt a guy, but then drove off, you can wheel back around. What do you want to do?
So I think I'm going to cover the front, and if I can, so where is Dodo right now?
Dodo at this point, after the person who's throttling him let go, has dropped behind his counter and is frantically trying to call for the Imperials. He just wants some help.
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to shout out loud. Let's see. You Black Hef should have known better than to come into our territory. Don't worry, Dodo. We've got your back. We'll take care of him for you.
Nice. Is he gonna be? What's more important right now? Are you trying to convince Dodo, hey, it's all good, and keep him from calling the imps on you, or are you trying to cow the remaining Kubas Black Hef member?
I think I'm going to let the rest of them cow the Black Hef, and I'm going to focus on Dodo. I figure he's, going to rabbit. So he's either going to run away or he's going to call the cops on us or something like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then I believe this is Jaw.
Okay.
And do you feel like you're being cool or badass here?
Let's see. Badass and Jaw would be yelling at someone until they wet their pants. Cool and Jaw would be trying to talk your way out of a ticket. So it's probably Cool and Jaw.
Okay. I can see that. None of your expertises feel like they apply. I'm gonna write myself a note. More expertises. Question mark. Cool. I'm going to say, as someone pointed out in chat, he probably doesn't really want to do this, but he doesn't like you guys. So I'm going to say this is hard. You need 3 successes to convince him not to drop dime on you.
So I'll roll my 6 and let's see what that looks like. Oh no, that's like 4 ones.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already made the call. Like
There was not tension on that though, right?
There was not tension.
Okay, thank
Correct.
you.
Yeah, that would be a very painful roll, but instead it'll be painful in a different way. As now, are you calling? Did you hop off your swoop bike, or are you calling through the window?
Yeah, I'm calling through the window. I'm
Nice.
sitting out front. I'm kind of covering the front in case anyone comes out. I'm preventing them from escaping. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. He says, yeah, sure, and pretends to have ended the call. So yeah, it looks like you got him. He like, oh yeah, I totally trust you guys. But then he's still ducked behind the counter and counting off the time until the imps show up and probably hiding stuff. Yeah, through the window she broke. Exactly. Cool. We heard from Rido, Throttle. We've got basically one guy with no gun. Armitage has his big gun. And guy who got shot in the shoulder, and then one guy in the tank. So we have one person with a weapon left. Armitage just grabbed the other guy's gun and her extendo arms are pulling back. So I think Throttle, you're closest to the guy with the blaster pistol. And he's doing a gangster style. His blaster pistol sideways.
Oh, he's so cool. So we think that Dodo is not calling the imps. That was the result of that. Like,
Correct.
we
It
think
seems
Rook was
like
okay.
Rook convinced Dodo not to call the imps.
Okay. Not the case, but that's what we think.
Correct.
And just as an aside, since this is going so poorly, I would love if folks at some point blamed Throttle for not being there when this thing was going down because she was off filming her show. Because conflict about that is something I wanted to get into at some point. But
Yes.
meanwhile, we're still in the poodoo, so let's see what we can do. Oh gosh, so I'm picturing, like, I think I'm on the ground, right? And he's this lame Kubaz has got his gangster style blaster.
Yeah, you're on the ground. There's like water rushing past you, like couple of inches worth of standing water in this place from all the tanks that have exploded.
There's like 2 tanks still left. I
There's
appreciate
one
the
little
Dodo.
like Roomba style droid who's going around picking up fish and throwing them down the grate to the tank underneath. Yeah.
I appreciate that Dodo has so many tanks for just his cover business. Like, he didn't need to go this all out,
He
right?
didn't need
But
to.
he
But it
did.
turned out he actually likes fish.
Oh, now I feel
Yeah.
really bad about this. Getting a lot of empathy for Dodo at this point. All right. Well, I think I'm not going to be fancy. I'm on the ground. I'm just going to kick this dude right in the junk.
Nice. That sounds awesome. So it sounds like feet and being badass are where you're headed.
All right.
He's got a
Oof.
gun on you, though. You may be trying to kick him, which is awesome. But I think he's trying to shoot you. So tension's involved in the role, but he's definitely not expecting to be in basically a kids movie and getting kicked in the junk. So the difficulty is only hard, a 3.
All right. And we've got 4, 5. Yeah. I should use a card. So 6.
Okay.
So we don't need this to go any worse.
Tension is involved. Come on, once.
All right, success, but yeah. I'll watch.
Okay. So I don't think he shoots you. Like 1 cart loss maybe isn't that. So something about this is either stressful or painful as you take him out with a savage blow. Turns out Kubas got nards. Who knew? Now we know.
Sick reference.
Thanks.
I think the thing is, like, he goes down like a sack of space potatoes, but lands on me.
Okay. Nice.
Like maybe his blaster bounces off my nose or something, and that's
Oh, yeah, little.
Throttle, you
little
okay?
the Kubas who just got his gun taken away, he's gonna try to run off the back.
Oh no, he's staying here. He's not leaving. I mean, I've got him in my sights. I'm looking at him and shaking my head and say, "You're not going anywhere. We're gonna talk."
Okay. I don't want to put that to a roll. I think he knows that that's a really scary gun.
2 really scary guns right now.
Yeah, 2 really scary guns. Sweet. So we know that the Imperials are on their way. So I think what happens is you guys are gathering the Black Hef to converse with them. Yeah, how did he get 7 cards? That's awesome. Oh, that's right. You did really well. You rolled a 6 on your awesome charity work. He gave them air cakes. He cooked air cakes. It turns out that's a Corellian thing. It's canon, okay? It's canon. It's canon. It's in Wikipedia, so it's probably in somebody's novel or comic book, and it's all good. Anyway, all right, stop looking at the chat, Rich. So you've gathered the Black Hef together. One is dripping wet. One is sitting painfully. Another just seems fine. And I think this is the point where Dodo will say, "You all need to go. Just go. The Imperials are on their way. Go. Leave.
Oh, fuck.
And
Card.
he's like
Sorry,
shutting
card.
a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
He's like shutting some things down, flipping some toggles.
I was just about to get this guy's credit stick and give it to Dodo, but then things going this way. Let's see.
So I think what's going to happen is Rook hears this, and is going to head off in the direction where the Imperials would be coming from
Mhm.
to get them to chase her, you know,
Ooh,
and draw
clever.
them off of the rest of the rest of the gang.
All right, cool. I think that's a normal difficulty. If you are successful, then you're staying ahead of it, so they're not going to fire on you immediately. But if you fail, then things could go pretty badly. Normal difficulty, and I don't know. Are you being cool here? You being badass?
So, I think I'm definitely using my hog, and cool plus hog is handling some twisties. Badass and bike will allow you to perform a bit of vehicular homicide. So I think I'm being cool and using my hog. And I
So are
don't
are
think-
you causing chaos somewhere else to try and draw the Imperials away?
I think as they come in this direction, like they got a call, I'm going to zip by them as if I'm escaping and they need to chase me to apprehend the criminal that, Does that answer the question?
Yeah. No, that answers my question. I'm
Okay.
just trying to figure out if Rido would be like, wait. I don't know. I just kind of feel like I want to help you with that, and I can't
Okay,
help
you can
with
help.
that if I'm not gone, if I'm not there. So yeah,
No, you could help by like
Yeah.
pointing. They went that way. I mean, that's
Right.
very simple, and you could throw a Kark Rook's way to help out. Since you have 7,
All right, sounds good.
cool.
Okay.
All right, Rook. Let's
So
see
I'll
it.
roll my 66 and I'm looking for 3.
You're looking for 2.
I'm looking for 2.
Confusing Imperials in this game is not as hard. It's basically stormtroopers work like they do in the movies and the Rebels TV show.
Okay. So I'll roll my 6 dice and see how that turns out. That is 6 successes.
Wow. You just and Rhino points out, and I'm imagining there were a few speeder bikes, and they just and they turn, and they're all going after you, chasing after you, Rook. You've succeeded incredibly, so much so that I think you lose a couple of them before they can even give a good solid chase. But you were trailing just to try to make sure that you draw them into the net. What's the plan now? By the way, I just want to point out, Stephen, that if you look at the Coronet City tab,
Oh yeah.
there's a cool map. Stolen from KOTOR, if I remember correctly. Or it may be from Old Republic in MO. Where have we defined where we think you guys film at? I can't remember. If you're in, you're definitely not in Axial Park or the government district.
I remember we were the prisoner was being transferred
From Labor Valley to government district.
Government district. Yes. We caught them in the Axial Park, which was the nice part of town. So we're
Yes.
definitely not in Axial Park.
Correct. I don't imagine you'd want to be around Blastfield shipyards, which is huge Imperial presence.
Where's Sensory Assault? I mean, we're near that, clearly.
Yeah. I guess we'll say that Sensory Assault is at the border between Labor Valley and Axial Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's that blue thing on the map. I don't know what that is. Looks a bit like a mouse. I don't know. What is that? Beneath Neighbor Valley,
Oh, the dark blue.
Yeah.
Dark blue hole. I don't
What is
know.
that?
We could say whatever we think it is.
Huh.
Do you guys want to be near there? Maybe there's a place where there's a huge rebel explosion, like they blew something up.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So you guys are at the southeastern portion of Labor Valley. Near the Blight. That's what we'll call it. Okay. To circle back to why I asked the question and get us back on track. That's where you start from, is that little blight, the dark blue section in kind of the middle. That's where you start off from, Rook. They came from, I think they came from Government District. So they came in from the east towards you. You got them to turn around. Where do you want to lead the two swoop bike Imperial swoop or scout troopers? Where do you want to lead the two Imperial scout troopers?
So I think I head them off in a direction, away from where the shop is and that kind of stuff, giving them enough time to clean up and, explain what happened and get a cover story in place. Because that's what's going to need to happen.
Mhm.
And once I get far enough away, I think what I'm going to do, if I'm not mistaken, Corellia has a bunch of waterways, right? And there's
Mhm.
water stuff. I'm going to take my bike, as they're trailing, I'm going to dive into the water, like you do with a jet ski, basically, and push it far enough, and so that they can't follow me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just
Dang.
going to try and lose them that way.
Okay, awesome. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
You're definitely using your hog. It sounds like you're just pouring on the speed and you're not actively in combat. They're not going to fire at you because they think they're better than you. Let's call this hard.
Okay.
You feel like tension's involved in this role?
It depends on whether or not they're firing at me or not. I don't think they would be.
I don't think they are either. There's too much population around.
Yeah.
For them to feel like it's a good idea.
So I'll spend a Kark, and this is hard, which I need 3 successes with. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I barely got that.
Oof, skate by.
Mhm.
What's well, I'll ask Throttle. What's an unexpected complication that nearly ends up getting Rook caught at the end there?
Well, I did some modifications on Rook's bike for her as a present, as a thank you. So it's definitely faster than it was, but the water that's getting kicked up is gumming up the mechanisms a little bit. So I think this might be too much, Rich. So let me know, because it's almost get caught. I was thinking like there's some steam coming out. Maybe that's what it is. It's overheating, and this is actually, it's cooling it down, which is good, but creating steam that's leaving a bit of a trail that could be followed.
Cool. I like that. You okay with that, Steven? Still feels like you successfully got away. It's just one of those complications that added a little bit of nerves to it.
I think what we see is the two troopers on the swoop bikes, and they're like, they see me dive under the water. They're like, oh yeah, we're not following that. And they call in for divers, right? We need the aqua troopers to come in and
yes,
go after
you
this
beat me
guy.
to it.
Is that a thing?
Nice.
Are aqua troopers a thing?
Aqua troopers are totally a thing. They are stormtroopers with big floppy fins, and I just now imagine them having like flopping on their big feet.
Aquatic assault stormtrooper.
They have harpoon guns. They're pretty cool.
Oh God, they look awesome. Basically, imagine a scout bike trooper, but with like a little set of, why do they even have it? Yeah, that's great. And they do have harpoon guns, and they have a tank on the back, and this is great.
They must be so excited to get called in. Like they just sit around the barracks all day, like nothing for us.
Yeah.
And I figure my thought is, if I get them between the swoop bike patrol and the aqua troopers, they're going to be like, this isn't my jurisdiction. I can't follow this guy. And then I pop back out in the air, and they're like, oh, now we call it the scout bikers again. And they always make us look bad. And yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Let's come back to Armitage, Rido, and Throttle. Rook bought you a lot of time here. Dodo says, oh, you guys, you're nothing but trouble. Get out of my shop.
Yeah, we're going.
Do you know how much you cost me here?
Do you know how much we shop here? Just
not
saying.
Enough.
Oh, well, We could shop more. But we're going. Come on, guy. And I'm shoving one of the black half guys, and I'm taking this credit stick, and I think I'm throwing it to Dodo and say, hey, for your troubles, be nice to your fishies.
All right. Come here, little
Yeah, I think
dino.
Throttle's helping the little droid clean up fish at that point. So we're trouble. We're trouble. We're trouble. And like pointing at the black hats.
Black hat,
Save
they're all
your ass, Dodo.
they look, they're like, oh, they're all hangdog, because yeah, they want you guys to take the blame for this one.
So Rido is like, they're I imagine they're all like kind of in the middle of the shop at this point, tied up a little bit maybe. Rido is just like, feeling their pockets for orders, a data pad, somebody who's sent them here, maybe taking any credits that they might have on them.
Awesome. It sounds like you're trying to figure something out, right? You're searching these guys. So let's say it's a head roll. Yeah, you're pretty cool here. It's not fighting. You're just trying to be smart.
Ooh, be cool and head. Those are my worst stats.
They are. I'm so sorry. You can reorder this to another thing to try to use tools, possibly.
I'm okay with that because I can add theft because I'm definitely taking stuff. From them. I don't know if it falls under someone not knowing, but I'm definitely stealing their stuff.
Can I throw you a card because I'm distracting them?
Yeah, I like that.
I will do that.
What's the okay? Yeah? So that's 4. What's the difficulty, Rich?
I don't think these guys hit a whole lot of stuff, so I think it's going to be just a normal difficulty.
2. Okay. I'll throw one more Kark at it. That gives me 5. So yeah, Rido is just like, what you got? What do you got? What'd you bring in here? What'd you bring into my spot? And he's like opening up all of their pockets and there's probably like things they care about in their pockets and not important things. He's throwing those aside.
Ooh. What's one thing I want to ask Keith / Throttle this? What's one thing that we see Rido pull out of the pocket of one of the black hats that Rido nearly throws aside, and either Throttle thinks it's worth keeping or Rido maybe decides, oh yeah, no, that's a thing that we're keeping. You don't get it back.
I think it's a data stick that has our logo crudely etched into it, like carved on the front with like a knife. So you wouldn't necessarily see it, but like maybe Rido's fingers just kind of just before it's tossed in the incinerator or whatever it is.
Nice.
Oh yeah, of course it goes into the fish tank that's below, right? Yeah, so I got 3 successes, so I do find something. It's probably is that data stick, right?
Yeah, you find that data stick that has your logo on. They weren't going to buy guns, they were just here to get it. And so you actually find also they've got a little slicing kit. So I thought they were going to have to break in here.
Oh, you think you're so clever? You think you just slice into Dodo's systems? Throw that aside.
Well,
you think you're going to plant this? You think you're going to plant this data stick and frame us? I'm like poking him with it in the head.
Nice. They look glum and slightly worried. These are low on the totem pole Kubas. They were not a threat to you guys, as the dice have told us.
So just a question: was this your idea, or did someone send you? And don't lie to me. I can't stand that.
Arsebuk sent us to take you guys down.
The 3 of you. Amazing.
We're supposed to. There's some really good weapons in there. We were gonna get the big weapons and just light it up.
You brought a big weapon to get. Oh. My sweet little Kubas, this is not how this works. And I pat him on the head.
They've got like spiky hair, right? And they're little beady
Hey.
black eyes, their long snout deals.
I've got metal hands. I can pat the spikes without impairing myself.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's painful.
So what are we gonna do with you three?
Let's go. It's just stern warning.
Oh yeah, let you go?
Stern warning.
I think we only need one of you to go back.
Which
Bonathan
one will-
raises his hand.
Why should we let you go?
He thinks for a moment and then he says, I have kids.
Well, that's an argument against letting you go, really. Who needs to screw up for an parent, really? No, make it worth our while. Who of you wants to leave and be alive? Make it worth our while. Think about it.
This is just like the scene in Double Payback.
You think where I got it from?
Nice. The three Kubas all look to each other, and one of them says, no, can't. Sebok would kill me. Should kill all of us.
Get killed now or get killed later. I think later is better.
All right, now you're being badass.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Using some jaw to try to get these guys to roll.
And is this extortion? I mean, I don't want creds, but I want
Sure.
something.
I can see that.
So I'm good. Because I'm not that great with jaw, but I'm good with threatening people. 5 dice. How much how hard is that?
I think we've established that this would be a normal difficulty.
Mhm.
It would be simple, but they do know that the Sebok queen would be very, very angry.
So normal means 2?
Yes. Sorry. I was talking numbers.
Okay. It's fine. I've got 2 and a shed, but I don't think tension was involved, right? Or was it?
Tension was not involved.
Cool. So I got it with 2.
You got it. They look to each other, and one of them's head droops down, and as another one breaks, and he says, Uma sent us. I think they were doing something else. Because the other guys were talking and not talking to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're a distraction. I got it. Thought so.
One says, no, we're frontal assault. Frontal assault. Yeah, frontal assault.
Yeah.
We cut away to Rook as you're trailing along. There are a couple of sea troopers that are getting lost in the wake of your ability to pop up out, and you're free. You've led these guys on a merry chase, and you know that you can come back. Rook, what do you want to do? Are you doing anything or heading straight back to the shop?
So I think I'm not heading straight back to the shop, but I'm taking a scenic route to make sure that I've lost the trail, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
you've succeeded.
I don't take anyone back, but I'm taking a long time circuitous route in order to get back. And my idea is I'm going to pull back into the back of the shop, so that I can, my speeder bike probably, isn't great underwater, so I probably need to repair it. It was definitely chugging kind of weird, and I need to take a look at it. And so I'll pull it into the back of the shop and kind of shut everything down before I head back out front to see how everything got handled.
Cool. And I was imagining all this conversation was happening with the Kubas, was not happening in Dodo's shop. You pulled them across and back into the Swoop bike shop. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the Kubas, what they did was they rolled saying that Umas, who is a former assassin for the Pike Syndicate who works with the Black Hef, is the one who sent them to go frontal assault you guys, but another member of this trio who I need to name now because they are starting to take shape in my brain as interestingly enough to have a name. Another one of them said they believe there was something else going on, but they just weren't informed. Because why would you inform these idiots? They will roll on you as they just did.
Yeah, somebody made a good call with that one.
That's true. So,
Is Rook coming into the shop?
yeah, that's what I was getting ready to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, so I was in the back, kind of hanging up my swoop bike to drip dry, sort of. And then I think I come through the back door where the shop is, where the shop goes into the front to see what all happened. Yeah.
Oh, how'd she handle?
She put off, it was weird. She glugged a little bit and all of that, but I think it was good enough to get the imps off my tail. Not like it's that hard.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Throttle's face drops a little. You're gonna have to take a look.
Nice.
I think whenever Throttle figures out that I took her underwater, you're going to be like, you did what?
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe you see it's just dripping, drip, 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 drip. And by the way, the places where Rook was, I think there's a lot of runoff and a lot of industrial sludge. So I think your ride looks like it definitely needs a bath.
So whenever I come into the shop, we have the Kubas there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I turn around and I'm like, what are they still doing here?
They're
We haven't
talking.
figured out. Yeah, we haven't figured out what to do with them quite yet.
String them up and ride them through town, from the back of our bike so that nobody bothers us anymore. They should know better than to hit us.
Fair point. This one, and I point at the one who spilled. This one, we don't. He spilled. I mean, he's not going back to the back half anyway.
What are the ones who did spill? Says, no, I spilled too. I spilled too. We all spilled. Everyone spill.
How are
So
these
what are-
Nerf herders our rivals?
These are the.
This is Dwas Fall's slicing kit. Dwas Fall gave us a slicing kit. There, I spilled. Let us go.
Who else would have given you the slicing kit? That's non-information.
It's information.
So what your chucklehead's going to do next? Because you sure can't go back to that calf like that.
They look to each other, and there's a pause. They kind of chat with each other in their native tongue, and then finally one of them says, "Lay low. Gonna lay low." Smart.
Maybe there's some use we can have of these. Don't know.
Do we know where the Black Hef are based? Like, is there any, like, if we put something on them to track them, is there any utility in that? If we because we've assembled 3, not too intelligent gang members, we could use this to our advantage to get something some inside information to them. Putting a listening device on them or something and sending them back.
They used to be at the Black Hole bar, but then you got firebombed it at the end of one of our
I thought they
sessions.
firebombed it.
No, they took over the Black Hole from you guys.
Oh, and then we blew it up.
Yeah, and then you blew it up.
Oh,
It's mean what you guys did.
this whole time I've had this vendetta because I thought they blew it up.
But they took it over, wouldn't have to blow it up if they hadn't. So
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Well, I thought they blew. Oh, we blew.
This is great.
Yeah.
So the idea of trying to find out where they are headquartering. Here's the thing, and just to restate, Sabak, the queen, the matriarch of this hive of, you guys have never seen her. So that could be extremely valuable
Mhm.
because she's the one.
So I guess Rido will take the little slicing kit and like shove it into Throttle's hands. Be like, can you do anything with this?
I thought you threw this down the storm drain.
Oh,
Ooh,
did I?
you got some sleight of hand. I don't know.
It
you
looked
mentioned
valuable.
Okay. I mean, we can totally wreck on that.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering about the data stick. If
Mhm.
like I can scoot over and see if there's anything on that, or if it's just red herring.
Yeah, go ahead. You scoot over, you grab the data stick, trying to figure out if it is bit of information. Let's have you're gonna have to slice into that thing. Why did these idiots have something valuable? I want to say no. I just gotta make it make sense in my head. I think maybe they're just pilfered it. They're not supposed to have it. One of them, I am slowly naming the three. Kranzabok says, just throw that away. I'm not supposed to have that. You shouldn't have that.
Guys are so- oh, okay. Sorry. And I make it look like I'm throwing it in the refuse bin,
Okay.
and then immediately plug it in to the system right in front of him.
And it turns out that there is some passkey information you're going to need to slice in there.
Sweet.
Nice.
Cool tools.
Yeah, seems right.
Cool tool slicing to.
And I don't think that tension is involved in the role, but she's pretty good at what she does. So I'm going to say this is scarking hard.
It's 4.
4 successes. Dang it.
Okay.
I said I was going to say numbers and I didn't say numbers.
We're learning. All right. I've got 5 dice right now. I only have 2 carks, so I don't know if I want to use one of them.
I can throw you a card.
Cool. What are you doing?
So you're just like booting this up to try and figure out what's on it.
Yeah,
I think
I'm hacking.
you're hacking.
Slicing into Star Wars.
Mhm.
Let's see. Well, I'm getting better at tools. I think Rido is just trying to, prove himself a little bit that, he can be handy around the shop, and is
Mhm.
like, oh no, hey, I can help you. I can help you here. Oh, I think I've been learning a thing or two from the HoloNET.
And he like I made a typo or something that he catches. Like,
Yes, yeah.
no, you put entry. It's enter. Oh, okay.
Nice.
But I still need 4, and I've only got 6 dice. I will use one of my remaining 2 cards. I'm not happy about it because then I'm down to 1, but okay.
You're lucky tension's not involved in the role.
Yeah, I would not be using it if I was involved in the role. Not the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, but sufficient.
Wow. Wow, you pulled it off. That is awesome.
I'm good at this.
Okay.
Voodoo.
Cool. So, which is more important to Throttle here? Understanding the immediate threat to the shop and this plan that they weren't included in on, or getting information on Queen Sabak?
So I feel like I have to pass that on to Armitage and say, which would you be most impressed by if I came to you with?
I think I'd be more impressed by the information about the queen because I mean, whatever these chocolates are planning, we can handle. But going after her, that would be a thing, right?
Oh, that would be, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm looking for on here then.
Okay, awesome. So what you find is that they're in the Port Bavaria or Port Bavaria spaceport underground. That is the lair for Queen Sibok. That is in the government district. So it is like they're underneath the biggest part of the government and imperial presence. Not from sheer number, the sheer number of Imperials would be in the Blastfield shipyards. But for the important people, they're all in the government district. That's where all the nice stuff is. And evidently that's where Queen Sibok is as well.
Well, I guess we don't need to track them, folks. We just need to, and then look at the trio and say, head to the Port Bavaria spaceport.
Ah!
Eyebrow cock.
The one who you told you weren't going to use it, he's oh!
You sure you three want to go back? Because prospects aren't good.
Krantz, Zinn, and Stern all look at each other, converse for a moment, and the
Fiddle around with a big gun, just
to,
I mean, make clear the stakes here a little.
Zinn says, no, we're gonna leave. Right? We're leaving. Run for it. Leaving Coronet City. We're gone. Just let us go. Never bother. No more bothers. Never bother you again. We're good. We're friends. We're friends now.
I do feel like the gang is weaker with them in it, so maybe we don't want to drive them out of town. Like if they sent somebody competent to do this, we might have been in trouble.
Yeah, but a stormtrooper, even stormtroopers occasionally hit a shot, so less enemies, the better.
And the one that actually shot you, like Nick grazed you, says, I shot you. I shot first.
I pat his head again and say, yeah, you really did.
He nods to his two compatriots, like, yeah, I shot first.
Mm-hmm.
What a head shaking.
I think we should put a tracker on these guys and just let them run wild because I kind of love the chaos they might be getting up to. And we know their names now. I have a hard time just shooting people I know when I know their names, unless they've done me wrong, but they haven't so far.
Could we set one of Rook's extra cameras drones to follow them through the streets a little bit?
Oh, we could have a comedy show with these guys in it.
Perform our own network. Yeah, we need content. So.
And at any point, whenever we feel like it's time to burn these guys, we could just make that video public so everybody knows where they are and that they turned over in the Black Cast, right?
Okay. So you're letting Krantz, Zinn, and Stern go. Okay. They will take off. Stern comes over to you, Throttle, and says, just want you to know, your shows are really good.
Oh, hey, thanks. Would you like an autograph?
Yes.
So if he doesn't stop me, I'm gonna autograph his forehead. Just so
no, shoulder pad. That looks much cooler.
Is that where you were, Throttle?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of reshoots we had to do. You're gonna love this next episode.
I'd have loved it more if you had been there for the whole thing from the beginning, but I'll turn out fine. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys had it like Armitage. You looked. It was great. It was great. I mean, if Frim caught that, you should send that footage to your agent. That was.
I'm sending all of my footage to my agent. I'm still waiting for double payback too, quadruple payback or whatever, but you know.
Triple payback. That's it.
You guys had them all the way, you know.
Yeah, it could have been something dangerous though.
I mean, just if let me know the next time you're planning on the
Being
Black
assaulted by the Black
coming in.
Half, right? Yeah,
Uh,
sure. I'll let you know in advance because I am pre-science. I'll use the Force.
You can't, right? I mean, can you? Can you do this?
Sure.
Okay,
I'm a
sorry.
Jedi.
I don't know. I don't know all of you. You're very talented. Very talented.
I'm not that talented.
I mean,
Raido
just,
will. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
did you beat me? Because you know you got to beat me. I don't. I just got you got it. Oh, you did. Okay. I did not hear it. The exhaust manifold on the. I'm working out some of the designs we want to do for Zimbo's bike.
Yeah, we had a conversation about that while you were gone, Throttle.
Oh, did you go see?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is good. This is good, guys. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, we have a plan now. So and like Raido will pull out like whatever we've decided on with like the moderate choices between speed and safety.
Safety.
Yeah, we need these cool decals for it. That Brooke had a fantastic idea.
Sounds like this might be a little bit hard to find, Throttle, kind of thing that you might have the connections for.
You're not gonna make her a lame bike, right? Because she's a free spirit like me. She doesn't want anything that's gonna hold her back.
Well, we've already had this conversation, Throttle, while you were gone, so I don't know why you're trying to
no.
fix it now.
We're gonna make her a nice bike that she can change to her decorating choice. We're gonna start it out with like pinks and blues with her name emblazoned on the back, and of course the ruler's name on the back as well, right? But she can always modify that with the decals that we add so that they're different colors.
She's gonna think we're so lame.
Well, not if you do a good job building the bike.
Well, I you know, I have some concepts now that we can. If you're not worried about being too dangerous, Raido. Don't want your girlfriend to get hurt.
They already nixed the personal shield, so
Is that a euphemism or what?
No, we said we wouldn't want a personal shield because too expensive.
Oh,
I'm
but
just thinking that we've all had a big day except for you. So and Raido is still like pushing the tools across the workbench.
Meow like a wolf cat. Keep it up.
Yeah, I'll get right on her bike then. So are you saying you two aren't a thing anymore, or?
Yeah, what happened in that bar?
Is
Kind of
is she a free agent now, or you still have target lock? What are we talking about here, Raido?
I kind of froze up. I don't remember.
Oh God, little brother. Damn it. And I put
She
my
said she
armor
wrote
on.
me in
Oops.
jail.
Oh wow. That means she cares.
I should probably find those letters.
You should probably just answer those letters or write her one. It's your move, buddy.
Uh,
You can
I'm
do
not good
it.
at writing stuff.
Yeah, but you've got us. We'll critique it. And I punched the major on the nose. And we'll do it off camera.
I love the like 3-step drop of like punch in the nose, he collapses, and frame shuts off. That amuses me.
But on the other hand, if you want to abandon your pursuit, that's perfectly understandable. Way out of your league.
Abandon my pursuit. No. You're right. I should write her back. Write her a good, heartfelt letter. Be totally cool, totally badass.
He's gonna roll both cool and badass.
Heart and badass. Well, tell you what. What if I write the letter and you work on the bike?
Yeah, we'll see which one she likes better.
All right. Feels like we may have gone from Throttle getting the business to possibly a little bit of a bonding situation here. Definitely Armitage trying to support Rido for sure.
I was more angling for, hey, we have to cause chaos in front of the camera, and then when the camera turns off, hey, let's help with the bike.
Nice. But I think Armitage and Rido, there was a bonding there about Armitage urging you to make the right choice and Rido being thankful. So 5 carks between the two of you, divide it how you see fit.
I'll take 2 if that works for you. Okay.
I think that's fair. So we both end up with a good amount of cards and for
Yeah.
What about you, Rook? You've been kind of quiet. What are you up to?
So I think I'm, just catching up with, kind of the plan. I think I've also been watching where the is it the Kumar? Kubas. The Kubas brothers
you just
have all
watch them
gone.
over remote.
Kind of watching them, and then whenever they start talking about, putting together the bike, I'm like, yeah, let's get on that. I think whenever Throttle goes over to start working on the bike, I'm gonna go over and help her. And be like, do whatever I can. I think my skills are more about the making it look good, whereas I think Throttle skills, if I'm not mistaken, you're about making it fast and all that, right?
That sounds appropriate. Yeah.
Cool.
So like kind of are you coming over and we're working together, like to say, oh, if I'm going to put in this kind of engine, like can you make that work in the aesthetic that we're doing here, and like it's gonna bulge here and I don't want it to be asymmetrical.
And
Unless
I think
you
what I
think
do
that's
is,
cool.
well, I think that'll be unique, and I think that'll make the whole bike kind of stand out. And what we should do is probably emphasize the sound by running it through this kind of feedback, so that it you can hear it coming from a mile away.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Are we gonna have a weight issue though if we just put it on the one side? Like, can you counterbalance that?
Well, Rido says she's a good biker, so yeah, I think that she'll be able to compensate for most of any kind of weight issues. But I think what we'll do is we'll increase the gain on this repulsor lift to kind of counterbalance the weight that we're seeing.
He said she's a good biker too.
He said that.
She's the whole package. All right. You really think pink and blue though?
Well, I think we show up with pink and blue, blue, pink, and red, cycling through in like neon colors, and then but we give her the controls so that she can modify it to turn them all black, or whatever color fits her personality that day. I think that customization, I think, will really show off who she is and allow her to make the bike her own.
That's a
We
good
come
call.
up with a paint color. We come up with a paint color. Maybe she doesn't like it.
Yeah, I know she's always changing her hair, so like if she can match with that, that would be be really good if it accented everything.
I'd like to bring this to a roll. And what I'd like to do for the construction of the bike for Zimbo U is to say, you get to set the difficulty. The higher the difficulty, the better the ride is. And for every tension is not involved in the roll, there's going to be enough tension in handing over a failed bike. Right? But I'll say that, and this means a mechanic that doesn't exist, so we may cast aside this idea, but I'll throw out this idea. If you fail, for each level that you fail, it costs you that much more money, meaning you go from making a tidy sum to, if you want this thing to work, you're going to have to pour a lot more credits into it. And then you guys get to have the discussion about, is that something you're going to do, or hand over a failed bike? How does that feel?
I'm good with that. What do you think the level of credits we start with is, so we know how many we can pile in?
That's a great question. So let's keep the credits on a like thousands, because there is no economy in this. And let's say that you're being paid 10,000 credits for this. That's an exorbitant sum at this point. You would be clearing a few thousand if you put together your regular work. So he came in a magnanimous offer, but it was also on camera, so he looks, magnanimous.
So if I'm not mistaken, then basically our profit margin is like 3. So we would be, if we fail, we can always bump it up by up to 3, but then we make nothing. Yeah. And that sounds good. Yeah.
Were we bonding in that scene?
I feel like Rook and Throttle were absolutely bonding over the work. So that's 5 carks that Rook and Throttle may split however you wish.
We're both very cark poor.
Yeah.
How would you like to do it?
Why don't you take 3 and I'll take 2?
I won't argue.
Okay.
All right. So to make sure I understand, I'm going to decide on the difficulty.
Yes.
Then roll. And anything that, if it's not a success, the bike is going to be messed up. And if it misses by however much it misses by is reduced in profit.
Or just make the profit and hand over a shoddy work.
Okay. So that's, you can raise extra successes, but it costs money. Okay.
That makes sense now that we walked through it again. Okay, cool.
So I'm guessing cool tools.
That feels right to me. And you've
All right.
got mechanic, right?
I've got mechanics. So it would be 5 dice.
You're gonna beg for any cards for anybody else? All right.
Well, I mean, I was there helping anyway.
Yeah,
so,
you are. All right, that makes sense.
Certainly.
So that's 6. I can't imagine the other 2 wanted to, although I don't know.
I want money. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, I'll throw
I-
a cark at it. I
Yeah.
care about.
Okay.
I want
Team
to, I just
effort.
want us
Love
to have to, a good job. I throw a card away too.
All right. So that we're at 8 dice.
Mhm.
What's carking hard is 4, right?
Carking hard is 4. Yeah, actually, if you look on row 46, directly under Throttle, I've thrown the difficulties in there for you. For everybody.
Okay. So 4 feels good, but right? I mean, 4.
4
feels
feels like 50-50 chance. Yeah.
I think
that feels
4 is
good.
one of the things you guys are known for, right?
Mhm.
If he got a carking hard build, be like, oh, okay, yeah, you gave me the kind of thing that we saw on your show.
And this would kind of be like the equivalent of one of our bikes. A Karking Hard and a 4 would be like one of ours.
You wouldn't, yeah, you run a custom swoop bike shop. Your bike should look awesome.
I feel like we should go Karking Ridiculous.
Yeah, me too, actually, because we have this funny mechanics, so we should
Yeah,
absolutely do
we have
that.
a chance. And I'm going to throw in a Kark as well.
Okay, yeah.
So we're at 9 and we want 5, but we can get some post roll. All right.
By
Everybody
losing
good?
money. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that you gotta tie that back in.
So we're 96. We're hoping for 5 or
Here
maybe
we
4, because
go.
then that's just a little bit of
Sharing
cost.
screens. I want to see this. This is some good tension here. Here we
We're
go.
gonna make up any money we lose from the business we're gonna get by putting this on the feeds. So,
That sounds accurate.
or at least it sounds like I could sell it to you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You said it at.
It was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take 1 hit on money.
Do we have to? I don't like that.
I mean, we don't have to, but then the bike's gonna fail on camera.
So she's an Imperial, bike will fail. Who cares?
Well, the whole point of this is that we're trying to drum up business, and we want customers to come in and come after these kinds of bikes. So if we have a bike that fails on camera, we're going to lose business. So I think we have to spend money.
I'm going to check in at this point because I like this kind of crisis point, and I'm looking at time. I think it's a thing where you look at the current and everybody knows there's a couple more things that need to be added to this. And what are you going to do about that is where we end today's session. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
Awesome. Let's real quick do XP. And then we will do stars and wishes. So this is for the entire table of the GM and players. Did you clash with someone who threatened your people?
Yeah.
I think yes.
Yep.
That was a big fight. Did you add to the legend of your gang?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, sure.
Like we whooped those guys and sent them running, so they'll definitely talk about
Yeah.
us, I would think.
Yeah,
Also
you sent
s-
them back. They're not hiding, right?
Also,
So
one of us kind of played tag with the stormtroopers.
I think that was and they
Yeah.
even got out the aqua troopers, the sea
Mhm.
troopers.
right.
And then did you have a conflict with the rival gang or the law? Both are true. So 3 XP to everyone. Now, these 2 questions are for each of you individually. I'll start from the right-hand side with Rook. Rook, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role in the gang?
So I think my role in the gang is, as the road captain, is to try and make sure that the plan goes off without a hitch. And I think I did that by trying to pull the Imperials off.
Okay, I think so too. Did you support another member of the gang when they needed you?
So I tried to do backup for Armitage whenever she went in, and I think I supported the whole gang in general.
I think
Yeah.
so too. Cool.
Yep.
So that's 2 more XP for you, a total of 5. Rido, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank in the gang?
Yeah, I think I was kind of the chaplain there when I was making the cake for the kids.
Yeah. And then did you support another member of the gang when they needed you?
Yes.
Certainly. Armitage, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank in the gang?
I definitely lived up to my rep. I even borrowed a strategy from Double Payback. So
I
sorry.
love that. And then did you support another member of the gang when they needed you?
I supported my brother.
Easy question. Throttle, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank in the gang?
Slicing, bike building, yeah.
Yep. Did you support another member of the gang when they needed you eventually?
I did show up eventually, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go. No, I wasn't there at the beginning.
Okay.
I
4
wasn't there
XP.
when I
then.
should have been.
All right. 5 for everybody and 4 for Throttle as punishment for doing her side gig. That sounds appropriate. I like it. Cool. Does anybody need a quick bio before we do? Or we're at time, so if anyone needs to go. Anybody want a quick 2-minute bio before, or can we want to roll on through? Okay, let's start off with wishes so we can end with stars. Who's got wishes for me? I will stipulate first of all, we didn't get to do the chaplaining for Greg for Rido, and I definitely want to hit that at the top. So chaplain is important. Anyone else want to lead off with wishes?
I'd like to be the whole time present. That would be good. That's my first wish. And I think you're kind of leading towards the other thing is I want to see the deeper mechanisms of, I feel like the main thrust is Broken Circle Black Heth. So I kind of want to see the big clash of that.
Yep. I think that is a Black Heth plot reveal needs to happen, and you guys have set up something for that. So I will pay that off. Thank you, Keith.
I
Who's
also,
next?
sorry.
No,
I
what's up?
would like for Simbo to show up. We saw her briefly, but I want to see more of her.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think we're going to lead off with making a decision about Bike and presenting it to her as our opening bit. But yes, I definitely want her to show up and be important. So thank you for that, for reminding me. But yeah. Anything else, Sabine? All right, Greg or Steven.
I can go next. I would like to see a little bit more of the white worms just as a third factor. They don't have to, everyone else's wishes are higher on my list too. But I would like to see that the white worms come in as a third factor to complicate things between us and the Black Heth. I love Lady Proxima from Solo, so anytime
Me too.
it shows up in the flesh, that's always awesome. And then also, just as I was looking through the list of hut words, I would like to petition for renaming the hardest difficulty Inkabunga, which is just incredible in Huttese.
Ooh, so I'm gonna.
Also, That's Impossible is also a good
Yes,
Star Wars
exactly. I have
illusion.
a soft spot in my heart for That's Impossible.
That's impossible.
But Inkabunga is pretty great.
Inkabunga, yeah.
Inkabunga for Carking Ridiculous sounds amazing, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
If that's okay with you. If you could drop in chat how to spell it, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Cool for me. Thank you, Greg. Keith is already gone. Steven, bring us home.
So I think you wrote down more expertise or different expertises in your notes. And I would like to see some of those expertise be more. So there's a lot of assault. Maybe I'm wrong. I was going to say I want to see them more on the cool side of things, right? But I think there's a really good job here of this is how you do things as cool, and this is how you do things as badass. And I think that there's a lot of cool oriented stuff already, like blackmail, bribery, extortion, slicing, all that kind of stuff all seems pretty cool. So I don't think I have a wish then.
Oh, okay. I think I want to do some expertises that aren't directly harming others. I feel like there's a little I just took it from a Sons of Anarchy style game, and I'd like to broaden it a little bit, I think. So I
do like the theming of the expertise, as with the exception of, I believe, mechanics, crimes.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that portion of the.
So maybe
I
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, if I'm adding that in as how to flavor things.
That's
yeah.
Good.
I struggled trying to come up with good things that would work with a thinker kind of character. how would a thinker kind of character work during a fight,
Mm-hmm.
right? So maybe strategy or something that, like during the fight that we had, I tried to think of smart things I could do that would help out the rest of the group, and it worked okay, but it required a little bit of effort. So
That's a
that's
good
the.
one.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm sorry, I was just mumbling in support to what you were talking about, conspiracy, something that
Yeah, I
is
threw
a
conspiracy
crime.
out there because like that's a thinking crime, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, but I cut you off, Steve.
Perfect. Oh no, that's exactly right. I think you've got it. Yeah.
Good. All right, Stephen, you went last on which could go first on stars.
Let's see. I really liked the way that Armitage just walked right in with a big gun and said, "No, I'm not putting up with this crap." That was really good.
That was awesome.
And I enjoyed the banter with Throttle about like her show and all of that. That was all really good too. I like that. Do you want an autograph?
Greg, what about you? Got any stars?
Yeah, stars for everyone being a little patient with me and my slightly spacing this morning.
I thought you were fine, man.
And no, I really enjoyed at the end there when we were all like, oh hey, we actually need to be a bike shop for a moment here and make this bike happen. I just like, I think we had to alight it a little bit for time, but that in my mind there is like a really cool end of that episode where we're all pitching in, getting our hands dirty, building the bike as we want it to be.
Cool. Thank you, Greg. Sabine, any stars left?
Yeah, lots of stars. I mean, for all of you to have them. And I really enjoyed all this. So a big star to Keith for showing up, because that was a really nice surprise. And yeah, otherwise this was a fun session. So I love the conflict of these two chocolates walking into our neighborhood gun dealer. And yeah, well, and all the fishes. Stars for the fishes, I guess. So and I like the dynamics between the group members, so that's gonna be fun to see next time.
Cool. And Keith, do you have any stars left?
Thanks for letting me show up halfway through, everybody, and rolling with that. I appreciate getting to do half a session rather than no session was wonderful. Love how stupid those three guys were. They were very fun. So I appreciate interacting with them. And also folks rolling with the in-game wish of give Throttle a hard time. I think that worked out really well and played some drama, because I did want to see more of that, because we've been so externally focused, whereas like the model of the reality show is we should be fighting with each other sometimes. Like, even if we're cool with each other, you gotta throw a chair every once in a while. So it was nice to be able to get that in as well.
Awesome. I am also very thankful for that, in that it led to some of the Orange County Chopper meme stuff of yelling at each other. Star to Greg, who knew Rido was so Who even knew? It was great. Sabine Armitage, I am the direct ahead missile, and how badass she was awesome. Steven, the harpoon, that was bananas, man. I love that. I really love I'm gonna harpoon through a window, through a tank, into a guy and drag him off. I'm sorry it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I had to be true to the dice, but it was still terrifying. And Keith, thanks for get stuff done so you could join us. Half a throttle is better than no throttle. I really enjoyed having you here. We will continue on into our third session next week. Thank you all for playing, and thanks for everybody who's watching.
Thanks for running.